locking down and preventing either Black Hole from coming out or to give them the ability to easily kill Dragonite. I don't know. The Doom just feels like the hero of the series without the doubt. Chris been playing it extremely well. It feels impactful basically every game. So I don't know. It feels hard to me for Nouns for sure. EG's got good stuff going for him.
So what do you think is the plan? Because, you know, again, it's a last pick Nature's Prophet. They understand what's already placed on the board. What do you think their idea is here? How do you think that they're going to try to outplay them?
Well, they did need tower hitters. Their push is okay, but not incredible at the moment between Dragonite and Enigma. So adding Prophet on top of that could really up the tempo a lot. I mean, it was the style that we saw Bet Boom do heavily at the major. Safe lane Nature's Prophet, then all of a sudden you get one gank somewhere, and that tower dies. And that's something they can really facilitate with the heroes. Remember how fast they were playing when they had CM in the earlier game? It's very similar draft, right? Dragonite, CM, Mirana. Well, these three heroes should be able to make a kill happen. And then if you bring Prophet onto that and you take a mid tower afterwards, that's going to open up the map heavily and make it a lot easier for you to move back and forth and get more of those kills with Mirana. So I think it's something like that. Yeah, maybe the core matchups aren't very good, but it should allow Nouns to get ahead in net worth.
The battle begins.
It's like Husky's going to bait a little bit over here. It's going to get chased away, but nice triple hit there with the Chris Nova, but again, this is looking like the first sacrifice here to EG, and Abed's gonna start off pretty happy with that.
Yeah, he let them get a little too close to him, unfortunately, but maybe he was not watching. The little courier can be confusing here. Gunnar is trying to set up a little bit of an arrow here. See if he can get it. At this point, maybe not worth it. Is Gunnar gonna stay up here? Okay, so Gunnar's actually side laning. They're gonna put Moo mid on the Enigma to counteract having to lane against Razor. Because if you have to play a DK versus a Razor, you're gonna have a bad time. He's gonna sap your damage, and yeah, maybe your regen, and maybe you can stun, but you're not getting as many last hits or denies. So, the same vein though, Dragonite against Monkey King isn't gonna be great either. That's a melee hero versus a Monkey King. So, I don't know, maybe a bit of a pivot here, but doesn't look the most amazing.
They're shaking things up a little bit, and sometimes that's just what you need to do because Evil Geniuses does feel like they've got a little bit of a run back. Obviously, they had the Chen instead of the Enchantress in the last game, but a very similar style hero being able to, you know, have the summons and do the healing and whatnot. And then, of course, we talked about Crit and the Razor this time in the mid lane. Not going to be Nightfall playing it this time around, but also very potent.
Yeah, very, very solid hero matchup there. And Mirana's okay against Enchantress anyways. I mean, you can arrow her creep, for example, so there's some counters there if her creep seems too strong or anything like that. But they got a little pull connect off here to get some experience away from Arteezy in the meantime, which is solid for them. And in the mid lane, Moo's doing a great job harassing Abed. Every time I look over, Abed's sitting at about 20% HP just because he's fighting with Eidolons all the time. And their net worth is still comparable too, so it doesn't seem like he's giving up too many of them.
Definitely not one of these matchups that you ever expect to see in this mid lane area, but an interesting creative one to be sure.
Yeah. He's going to try to take the water rune, but Abed will plan ahead here and deal with it. So that'll get Moo access to even more mana regen if he wants it. But so far, 10 denies on the Enigma, and that's not all demonic conversions. So pretty solid so far, and one of the first times we've seen Abed get behind in the laning stage.
Does seem pretty good.
It's the power of Enigma, though. It's one of the reasons that he's being first phase banned here.
I'd be interested to see what's going to end up happening over the course of the next day, right? Because we are going to have that patch come out and just see, you know, are we going to see anything that's very massive, or is it just going to be like little tiny things?
Yeah, they'll probably be pretty depressed actually when they're talking about it on panel about the CMs. Like, oh, CM's getting picked all of a sudden. And it's like, but wait, is there going to be a nerf almost immediately afterwards?
No, please, no.
Hopefully not. It's too soon. Maybe just don't even buffer.
Just leave her alone, honestly.
Arguing.
Yeah, just leave her alone.
Don't change her. She's been waiting so long for this.
I mean, there was a time where CM was picked every single game, though. Don't forget. Like, there are these seasons to particular heroes where...
It's true. It's just been a long time since that happened, so I just don't... I'm still in my begging portion of my arguing here.
Right. The stages of grief. You know, bargaining. You're in the bargaining portion of it.
Yeah, please. Oh, come on, Ice Frog. She doesn't deserve it.
She
had
so
one good
slow.
week. She didn't even win all of our games.
That's true. They keep going back to that on the on the panel saying that, you know, Crystal Maiden, you know, she didn't, what was it, the PSG LGD game when they picked her? You know, they keep going back to that. But also Brain picked her. I believe they won that game, you know? Don't count them out. But I don't want to argue for them to, like, nerf this hero, so.
Yeah.
Never mind, forget it.
She's decent. She's not amazing, maybe, but I like playing her at least. A little stack pull going on here for Crystal Maiden on the Nouns side, so their lane must be going good if they're able to keep Nightfall away from that, but he's been kind of solo for a bit here, Crit moving along the map, and Nightfall still has more experience than Costabile does too, so he's pretty happy with what his position is at, it seems like.
Fairly close together on terms of the CS at the very least, but yeah, I mean, there's not much that they can really do to an Underlord at this time, especially when you consider, you know, it is a Crystal Maiden. You have a couple things that you could possibly kind of mess around with, but fairly tanky.
They're giving him ice armor too. Crit stole that one, slaps it on Underlord, and he has a double bracer, so his damage is about 100. That means if he can sit in the lane against Costabile, he's going to just out-deny him, and that's what's happening actually. 24-10 versus the 16-5, 17-5 now for Nature's Prophet, so this is why they have a slight level advantage. A little bit easier for Costabile here to get to 9.
A bit of a slower game. Do you see some rotations over to the mid lane? That is one of the downsides of an Enigma, is the fact that he doesn't have any like good ways of being able to escape. Skeet is going to put a little harass, but yeah, that is definitely.
His skill build's kind of weird too. Got 3 points of Malefice, really worried about defending himself, I think, or potentially getting kills. So less damage from the Eidolon, longer cooldown, but at least he can maybe stay alive when he does get dove.
He's starting to put that pressure down. They have the Cardi over here. They'll use the enchant. Should be able to take down the creep. We do have 3 heroes coming out from both sides, hanging out in the mid lane.
In the last game. And importantly, the arrow got blocked. I didn't see what blocked it, but it's on cooldown. He wasn't able to kill the catapult here. Oh, and they're going to kill with demonic conversion. Really nicely done. All right, so if we compare what just happened with last game, vastly different, right? Last game, it was like they get dove, they die, tower gets killed at like 6.5 minutes. Instead, they dealt with this. The tower still is almost entirely full HP, and Mu goes back to getting last hits. So didn't even skill Black Hole here. He just knows what I'm doing is laning. I'm trying to limit Abed's gold. I'm not going to cast Black Hole anytime soon. I'm here just to do damage and do well in my lane. And now the push comes the other way. Nouns is now pressuring the EG tower.
Yeah, and they don't have those other heroes close by right now to help Abed out, so they get a decent amount of damage. Again, they do have the Cardi. And they're going to try to clean up some of this creep wave, continue to put the pressure, try to alleviate some of the pressure as well over for Costabile.
Gunner chasing Arteezy away from the lane right now. He's got a small level advantage here. He's doing great, 32-6 versus One King's 36-8, so everything seems fine, actually, for Nouns right now. In the safe lane, though, Costabile getting dove a little bit.
Yeah, he is, and they've got themselves one of those tomatoes. He's cut through over here. They don't have a way to cancel out the TP, so he barely makes it out.
That was so close. Holy crap. Zefreak going to pull the creep wave away from the tower because he's like, I don't want anything to do with this. Keep this away from the tower.
Can you blame him? That was pretty spooky down there.
I don't know what he's going to take with this massive creep wave, but all right. And then Mu continues pressuring the mid lane too. They're doing a good job.
He's bringing it over to Husky and Mu, you know. Stabile making his way over. Doing that. Nice setup for the arrow, and they'll punish Crit here with a good teleport. And perhaps put some more pressure over on this mid tower, because they have definitely been applying it.
This is the new mid lane, I think. Or is this the safe lane? I'm not sure. There's a lot of Eidolons and trees, and
indeed, yeah. No, but it's not gonna. He's not gonna chase. He's gonna respect it. Do have quite a few of those Eidolons. They do a decent amount of damage.
They did. That was like one volley of damage and lost like 15% of his HP. No wonder he didn't chase. That would have been really scary if he got hit a couple times. So plays it safe instead. But Observer Ward gets killed. At least Crit will get that payback with his death. And in the meantime, EG still successfully killing towers. Nightfall was able to take the enemy safe lane. So good. I'm just going to press Y real. Wow, Nightfall's on top. Who could have expected this?
Well, I mean, he's definitely had a very comfortable laning phase yet again. Like you said, you know, he's very tanky. You've got the ice armor that Fly had applied to him earlier. So he's been able to just farm and do whatever he likes. But we do have, you know, with Costabile being on the Nature's Prophet, he's got a lot more flexibility, right? There's more options for him to move around the map, do things. You know, he can participate in ganks, he can go for split pushing, he can go jungle. That does open it up a little bit more for him as well. But a lot of pressure now. Switching over here for this mid. They do have
They're
that
kind of close to Blink on Gunner, but he's not quite there yet. And after taking the top tier 1, he'll be the one to slow things down. EG definitely struggling a bit with their tower pressure compared to the last game. That's for sure.
It's what the ancestors give me.
Fly. Is that the Enchant Abed making his way over? They want to finish off that creep, and he still has a little bit of health left, so. Ooh, we do get a bit of a pause here. I know that they were having some frame issues earlier. What's up?
Moo got the tower kill. It's pretty good.
Who's Cat?
The sponsor tag looks pretty good. Of course, we talk about cats and you're like, what's happening?
I love cats.
Where's
sorry.
the cat?
I'm real dumb for cats, okay? Yeah, there's no one there, so. I'm never sure, though. Sometimes I feel like they bait me on that. They're like, yeah, it's a cat. It was not the cat. It's something else going on. You know? But they have to give a reason, right?
That's true. It's very important.
Moo has cats, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you weren't even mega confident about that.
No, because I remember one of the cats
his
passed away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so I wasn't sure if he had another one, but I think they had a couple, so. That's all. I'm trying to be sensitive, Purge. You should know about being sensitive, okay?
I just thought you had an encyclopedia of all pro player cats. That's all.
God, I wish. That would be awful, though, because every time that they would get an interview, I'd be like, bring the cat. I know you have one. Bring it.
Where is Mr. Fisticuffs? I don't see him on camera. Can you solve that problem? Thank you.
Oh, man. God, I hope you get a cat someday and name him Mr. Fisticuffs. That is a great name. I think Tango would probably eat him, though.
Yeah, very likely.
Yeah. Bless Tango. What a lovely dog. And again, Fly just taking up residency here. Z-Freak doing the best he can, try to pushing him out, but it's going to need a little bit more help. And, yeah, okay, in comes Husky. Gonna Frostbite the creep. I want to try to clean it through, but they do have to be careful. The Razor's nearby. Moo is here. Just a little bit of a standoff.
With no ward on the cliff, they're worried about the vision advantage, and even though there is the threat of arrowing Abed, just a little pressure makes things scary. Oh, we get that haste rune though. Nice pick up.
We do have Black Hole now up and running over on Enigma. So be interested to see if they try to make anything happen with this. Generally, you know, they try to use some sort of a pick-off when you pick it up. It's not the earliest pickup, obviously, but
yeah,
I'm more interested
in his Spirit Vessel pickup actually. Husky poking a little bit. Oh, they might catch him now.
No, they don't have a way to. The Blink did just get purchased by Dragon Knight, though, so they do have to be aware of that over on the side of Evil Geniuses because it could set up very nicely. Get a little snipe on the courier. No observer wards for Fly, not right now.
Z-Freak's level's pretty abysmal right now. He's just almost level 5 here at almost 11 minutes, but he spent a lot of time trying to shut down what Fly's doing in the jungle. In some ways, they're countering each other here, but I think that's an okay position to be in for Mirana. Normally, you want levels on her, but as long as Enchantress is also behind, that's a hero that's supposed to win the early game, basically. So the fact that she's struggling means that later on, Mirana will transition nicely and still be effective. So
there's the Blink reveal of Gunner. That's the team, though, on Evil Geniuses. Looks like they're going to back off. They do have the healing sprite, so Fly is going to be the sacrifice in the jungle, but the rest of EG decide we're just going to let you go.
Just a little too much damage there by Nouns. Just going to give Mirana those very important levels. Kind of a cool build for her, too, since there's already a Spirit Vessel coming from Moo. She grabbed Arcane Boots, and now is going to go for Vlad's, probably the Wraith Pact as her item option this game, which will be quite good. There isn't that much attack speed on the EG side other than Monkey King, so it could be a decent way to really reduce the damage output of their heroes.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Mirana pick up that level 6, and she does have it now, just because it is going to allow them to set up a lot easier and in fact, immediately that's what we see. They've got level 6, they know that they have Black Hole over on Moo, they're going to make their way over. And their lead with that, yeah, they do have the sentry ward, so they do spot them. But they do have that Blink Dagger that's up and running now for the Dragon Knight, so if they can catch someone, this could be a very good spike for them.
Invis might give it to him. We'll see if they spot crit here when he's walking around. Nothing just yet. Just see the bounty. But yeah, they're hiding. They must have seen them go for the haste or the Invis rune. So no opportunities just yet, but ultimately net worth's quite even. Abed is the least farmed, but he's not so far behind that it's terrible. Oh, there's the kill.
It's a good hit and run there. They were very patient. They had seen Fly there for a bit. So decided that, you know, it's a support kill, but we'll take it. We'll take it.
They settle for what they can get at this point. Now they can invade pretty comfortably.
And they still have that threat of Black Hole on the Enigma. Working towards the Blink Dagger. Does, like you said, have that Spirit Vessel. So ways to kind of offset some of the healing that'll be pouring out from some of these heroes.
Yeah, this is great for that BKB timing that they were looking to exploit. I mean, they struggled with it last game a bit, but you know, this is the time to be aggressive. They've got arrow levels, they've got 3 points in Frostbite. This is a good time for them actually to counteract and beat heroes like Razor. Moose shows on the creep wave, but hey, they found a hero.
They found Fly again. There's that Spirit Vessel we talked about. And they've got the damage. They'll go for a Doom over onto Enigma, so that way they won't have any of that damage with Crystal Maiden releasing that dance, doing it. Husky, is he going to be able to get enough done? They'll still end up losing Moo Husky next to fall. And it's looking not great here for the Drag Knight, but he does manage to get through that portal. Or rather get out. And the rest of the team, though, following with that Fiend's Grate. They would love to get themselves a Dragon Knight. And there's the Atos coming into play. Now he knows.
Yeah, he didn't think they were going to follow him, but they made it through just in time. So instead he goes to be a little bit slow on the creep wave, but they show up and get him. So nice catch there.
Let's see if they can hit me now.
Not the best scenario for EG, but at least they didn't use Black Hole, I suppose. Halfway good fight. Felt decent, but Nouns has to be a little bit more careful about taking these engagements. I mean, it's hard to Black Hole for Moo, certainly, especially if you're a core. Because somebody's got to frontline a little bit, and he wants to throw his other abilities, but landing Black Hole and Doom is up. It's just really tough.
I feel like you have to have very specific pieces coming together. Either you've got to be smoked or you've got to have the Moonlight Shadow. Because again, we don't have that mobility item available for Moo just yet. And then you're really, right now, you're just very much relying either on that arrow to connect or the Dragon Knight stun. So.
Yep. That's exactly right. So ideally, he can like let Dragon Knight jump in, everyone jumps in, kills a guy, and then when the counter initiation comes from EG, that's when Moo blinks in and grabs 2+ heroes with a Black Hole. But it's going to take time for that to happen. But in the meantime, he might as well play here aggressive. He still does lots of damage with the Eidolons. Until Abed finishes his BKB, he's not the strongest. Freak might get caught though.
I was about to say, they have to realize that something's up with that courier flying over, but decided that they wanted it anyways. So.
This was a nice move for EG to do, that they moved down here with most of their heroes, because it's clear that Nouns wants to play the enemy jungle, and while they're still waiting for BKBs, they can still get like a pick off here while pressuring the lane just fine. Just buys enough time for their BKBs to come. Abed only 400 gold to go, or 700, sorry.
There were so many creeps there 1 second ago, and then they all just got destroyed by the Wrath of Nature.
It's a good ult.
It is indeed. Gonna have the shard soon for the Nature's Prophet. In fact, we have it already online. I can hear Jenkins getting very excited. He loves them trees. That was all we heard during the major, was him just getting very excited. Oh, look at those trees in the background.
Yeah, he was a big Baboon fan for obvious reasons.
Oh, yeah.
Loves seeing the split push, Nature's Prophet doing well, all that good stuff. Put in position top lane, no fast blink dagger this game though, so no easy catch here. And Gunner's gonna push out the lane back to base. Trying to maybe grab a kill mid, but Fly with his fast force staff here is frankly really difficult to kill. I mean, again, Gunner is kind of the guy that's supposed to set things up. Finally finishes a soul ring, so this is gonna allow him to stay in the map a bit better. But he didn't do the wrong thing going blink rush, because they did need a way to start fights, but EG's doing a good job avoiding those kind of chain disables that normally are a big threat. But Shard as well on Dragon Knight too, so they're very powerful now in Nouns.
They want Kostabali here. Open up the Pit of Malice. They'll use the Wukong's command, and their patience pays off. They've been using the gate. Find this opening though over on Doom, so Nouns will find their own kill.
Yeah. Not the best trade, obviously, because you lost your hard carry, but especially when he's got that bad matchup. But Monkey King is just going to be able to set up here against the Nature's Prophet in a lot of cases. So, but they've got double blinks now on the Nouns side. Gunner will pressure the tower a little bit. A black hole ready to go if they can catch somebody. Still no BKB for Razor. He's very close, 100 gold.
Looks like they're going to make the initiation over onto Gunner. They're staying split pretty well to go for the black hole. And they only manage to go and grab one. They get Nightfall. And they also take a little bit of a bath and all that fireball, but now Moo, he's got to get out of there. He can't get out of there fast enough. Can they finish off on Abed, though? This is very important for them. Leap forward, come out. How are they going to be able to finish him? And they just don't have the damage. Both of them sitting so very low, and they just don't seem to have it. It's a double kill now. They'll turn their attention over to Fly. Plenty of AoE on the ground, but this is not looking great here. Husky, he is going to fall, and they'll follow up, though, with that Doom over on Kusabli. They want to finish off, and they finally get Nightfall. They got to get more, though. They're just, everybody's sitting on EG, just sitting so very low. Arteezy, he's trying. He wants this final hit. He wants to get the kill. Is he going to be able to get it? Is he? No, it's going to be Kusabli. He gets the hit, and Gunner gets the double kill.
Oh my god, Jenkins is screaming somewhere. Those trees just started. I looked over and I was like, oh man, Kusabli is so dead. He's doomed. He can't get away. But then I look back and they just start beating on the Underlord, and they get the kill by themselves. That was pretty sick, and that allowed them to separate, actually, and that's the only reason that Monkey died, is because Underlord also fell, and they instantly go into Roche with that.
I can't believe that we're not getting message in the group chat right now. Just Jenkins talking about the trees. To be perfectly honest, as Moon does jump forward, sees Abed. That is the BKB, though, and this is not looking great for Moon because he has no way to disengage right now, so they'll find a kill, but they can turn it back around. Can they get the final hit off over onto Abed? The arrow coming through. There it is. Husky gets the final hit.
Not bad for Nouns. I mean, Moo's definitely way deeper than he needed to be. I didn't even see how he got in there. Here's that fight once again. It kind of looked like everything Nouns did just got them an Enchantress kill. And watch these treants here. Look at the damage. A couple hits on crit, and all of a sudden they just start slaying, dude. Slay all day. Nightfall gets cleaned up. Doom has to run for his life, and then they're just completely separated at that point. They know that they can't really approach, and with Kusabli running left and Arteezy following him, it's like they can't give them the setup for the 2v2. So
God, that was so close.
Was really
Look
close.
at Gunner.
Up a 4-staff on Dragon Eye, very cool. So definitely adjusting to his technically off-lane role, but he's doing great. 4-1 and 2. 4-staff will help offset the value of Static Link, and it feels like they did a great job limiting Abed's BKB. Even though Abed is also playing well, he's 5-1 and 3, by the way. His BKB came slow this game because of the fact that he's just slower from having to deal with the Enigma mid. So that has actually worked out nicely for them and given Nouns decent spacing. It's a very close game.
This is definitely a type of game I enjoy seeing. You know, the other game, it was great if you're an EG fan, but it definitely was a bit of a shellacking. This is exciting to see when teams have to adjust and really play their hearts out against each other.
And in the meantime, Nature's Prophet just easily kills the tier 2 top. Almost no response there. And now they're going to go to control.
Yeah, they're trying to bait, I think, a little bit. As see the ultimate gets used from Husky. They'll drop the fireball. Make sure that they don't really want to cross into that at this time, and they're just going to disengage. BKB is completed, though, for Nightfall. They'll be able to stand in these fights a little bit easier. Have less of that lockdown. It's not going to protect them from the trees, but, you know.
I just like that that Arteezy this game went for Battle Fury over Maelstrom. It's pretty common for Monkey King to grab Maelstrom almost every single time, but he's like thinking about Sprout in the ultra late game. He's like, I don't want to get embarrassed on Reddit again where like I'm hard countered by not having a Quelling Blade. So he's like, I'm building this into my items so I never have to worry about it for the entire game. It's just not worth it.
Poor Artur getting bullied by the Reddit. Always feels bad. BKB is completed for Stubly this time, and they're grouped up around him. Though you have Arteezy tree dancing in the background. They spot out something. They can see the pings. Hunting, but don't quite have that vision. Casual arrow. Oh, it's so close. He just teleports away. He's like, yeah, no, I'm out.
Must not have spotted him. Fly takes the mid tower, though.
Yeah, and they're going to try to punish him for this, but you have to be a little bit careful. Nightfall in position. Bit of malice will force them away. So Nouns trying to play this patient game right now. What's the next objective here? I mean, obviously the BKB is a big deal for Moo. That'll be very important, but how do they want to proceed? Because I know with EG, they just want to continue to farm. They want to make sure that they can protect their towers. What's the play here, though, for the Nouns?
They finished BKB on Monkey King, so getting a great pick would work. Moo gets caught.
Ooh, this is not great, because there's the Fiend's Gate. He's just obliterated too quickly, and that pressure will definitely get placed on the tower. They do get Z-Freak's Courier. They'll get the Doom off over onto Sabale, so he will take down one person, but he is trapped in the corner with a lot of EG heroes, so Abed will get that double kill. Sarteezy continues the tree dance, lands the Boundless. They're gonna follow up, or they're gonna respect it. They're gonna back off a little bit over on the side of EG. They do have a tower to still take. As Gunner blinks forward, it's just gonna poke over at Fly. Arrow connecting, dropping the fireball. And a good force staff here from the Crystal Maiden. Buys a bit more time, but the BKB being used by RTZ. He does not care about Husky's ultimate, does not care about Husky's life, and he'll clean up.
I'm surprised Nouns hung around so long. Maybe they were looking for an ideal team fight, then they could buy back on profit or something, but yeah, they lose one hero, they get some BKBs out of their opponents, but it's fine.
Scanning.
It feels like this game's moved a lot slower than the previous ones that we were seeing.
Yes, I mean, some of them were really fast, but this was not too bad. I'm having a nice time. Decent amount of fighting, back and forth, lots of summons.
Feels like there's a lot more like little pickoffs, I guess, in this game, because compared to like some of these really big team fights that we've been seeing. But it makes sense, especially when you consider that you've got, a Monkey King who's just kind of, jumping around quite a bit, trying to get that farm, and then with the Nature's Prophet, he's a hero that, it's mostly going to be doing his own thing until the opportune moment, kind of like a Spectre in some ways.
Yeah, I suppose that's true. I mean, EG's just looking for these great catches, right? Enigma, when he's a core, the game gets a little bit easier because he's going to be a higher net worth, so you just got to focus and kill him at the start of the fight, and everything is going to look fine. And it's either that or you doom him, and both the options are definitely on the table this game for EG. So as long as you catch Moo, you can have a good game.
Very similar build this time coming out from Abed. We've talked about it before. The Treads, the BKB, and now the Refresher Orb is completed, so a little bit different just because of the fact that it is Abed playing at this time, not Nightfall, but very similar build. Does have that bassy.
He got that refresher really fast, actually. Considering his BKB was slightly slow, the last 5 or so minutes have gone really good for him, and they're going to fight again.
EG knows exactly where they are after that one engagement, so they're smoked up, and it looks like they're going to make a wide swing here, going across the river. Crit kind of leading the charge over here.
Fly gets spotted, though. But that's not the guy they want.
They're hoping for more. Moonlight Shadow, stun. The follow-up, though, crit. Nope. Quite land this as it's still cook and fly over here and all this fire. Still alive, just barely, but he will end up dying as now they've got the leash on. They'll lose Moo before he can do anything. They'll lose Lee on top of that. Husky, he's trying. He's got everybody here in that ultimate, but just cannot stay alive long enough, and Nightfall is just doing so much work on this Underlord. It's a triple kill for him.
Yeah, the fight started okay.
They want more. They want more. They want Gunner for stuff. Tree Dance, though. Boundless connecting. Abed closing the gap. They have anything to cancel out this TP. Can they get there faster? No. Gunner, he's out.
Nice escape. Tries to break the tree there by RTZ standing in it to defend himself, but didn't quite work out. But ultimately, still amazing for EG. Nice split push by Mirana, at least to force a glyph and a TP back. But either way, EG still pretty confident in where their game is sitting. It looked kind of good for them at the start. Then Nightfall hits the back. But he's difficult to deal with. They really don't want to throw a lot of spells on a Nightfall, especially with his BKB and his Sange. Like, any spells they throw on him aren't going to be used on either Razor or Monkey, so the problems are very diverse that Nouns have to deal with in these fights, and they still haven't been able to give Moo a good black hole moment. Maybe in some ways him rushing Spirit Vessel was kind of problematic, because yeah, sure, maybe it would help him get kills, but what's most important is getting him Blink at a good timing, maybe, so that he can black hole. And now BKB is what he needs. That way he can actually feel confident casting his ultimate, because every single fight, as soon as he takes damage and his Blink is interrupted, and like any BKB heroes on top of him, he's not going to BKB, he's not going to black hole well. There's just no way.
I guess the one thing that really is helpful is the fact that they have to be extremely careful if EG wants to go into that Roche pit and try to get that sort of the advantage, because there is an Enigma, so they have to be very mindful of the way that they're positioned.
That's true.
But it's definitely proving to be difficult for Nouns. It's like, go for another smoke play. Crit, though, in position, ready to break that smoke. Just blinks out. No problem. Nightfall, look at this fly. Nightfall just joining up together. There it is. There's the black hole over onto 2. Are they going to be able to do enough damage? It's looking good. They took down Fly. Nightfall, though, they need to get enough click damage off onto him before he can teleport out, and they just do not have it. He's too tanky.
The halberd usage disarms Costabile, evades a little bit. Good escape there. Great black hole, but look what happened. Only one hero died on the EG side. That's it. And they've got Doom coming back up. That means they can definitely contest this if Nouns can't kill this in the next 15 seconds or so. Maybe they're not going to contest.
They'll have a Fiend's Gate too if they want to try to make a play, but we'll go for the smoke. Start making their way over. Roche is going down pretty fast. There's the Fiend's Gate placed over onto the side of the pit. Can they get in there fast enough, though, is the question. Now, they'll be able to get the Aegis over onto Nature's Prophet and force staff forward, blinking and jumping out. Can they finish off crit? This Doom's taking a lot of damage, but over in the pit, they'll be able to take out that Aegis. And they did use the Doom, but didn't get the kill. As now Stabile, he's going to try to teleport out. There's just so much damage coming out from the side of Evil Geniuses as they'll obliterate him, and they'll take down the Mirana, but they'll be able to find the kill eventually on crit. Arteezy, though, he's hoping he can get himself anything else. Does see Moo over here, but not going to be able to cancel out the TP. Not in time.
That was a really good place for Moo to teleport, actually. He wasn't so close to the trees that if Monkey jumps the trees, he doesn't naturally see him. He was just outside of that range. Forces Arteezy to jump to the next tree set, sees him while he's flying in the air, and then he gets out. And Gunnar also escaping. But ultimately, we're starting to see that problem with the Nature's Prophet carry. Even if he's got BKB active, it doesn't matter. EG's ready to fight him. So even though Nouns do end up getting Aegis and killing Roshan, yeah, okay, they kill crit pretty easily on the backline or whatever. They disengage the Doom target, but when Costabile dies and respawns and instantly dies again, it's a tough position to be in. They just can't protect him well enough. They're hoping to force him maybe, but he popped BKB to defend himself. Maybe a mistake there by Costabile, because Gunnar, I think, was in position for that.
Oh, Husky.
But fight goes bad.
Feeling that pressure. Game's not over, though. Moo will help himself to a couple of these bounty runes. We're getting closer to that BKB, and that's very, very important for Enigma. If they can get a good engagement and a nice, clean initiation, could make a big difference. This is one of those heroes that, time and time again, can turn the course of a fight, or not even a fight, an entire game.
Yeah, and another thing that's turning the course of the game a bit, Fey Grenade on Doom was also grabbed. Once again, this is like the best way to break a Linken's. So even if they want to get a Linken's, it's in some ways just not worth it, because if he ever catches you before you BKB, he breaks Linken's instantly, and he's going to hit you with Doom. So instead, Nouns is focusing on a lot of force staffs. They have, I believe, 2. They're building a 3rd, I think, on Nature's Prophet next. That's the solution they're aiming for. Disengage with force staffs, Moonlight Shadow Kite your opponents, then re-engage if possible.
Smoke play coming out of the side of Evil Geniuses. So they see this regen rune, hoping maybe someone will show up for it. You have Z Freak hitting some of these creeps on the side, but they have bigger fish that they would like to catch. So they'll come through the bottom area, but all of Nouns pretty much in this top triangle bit. Staying on the high ground. I like the way the Z Freak is positioned here, just in case, you know, break any of these smokes. BKB is completed now for the Enigma. Crit jumps forward, gets the Doom off. They try to go for the arrow, but it's just not in place. Oh, there it is, though. There's the black hole over onto 3. It's beautiful. They need to put a little bit more damage, and by God, they have the loose fly. They lose crit. Oh, but he's going to buy back, and eventually they do end up losing Gunnar, but look at this amount of damage that's coming through. They'll take down Arteezy. Now Husky running for his life. Nightfall's going to get treed up, though. They need a little bit more. Can they finish off this Underlord? They're going to try to body block. He does eventually get the kill on Crystal Maiden, but Nightfall will pay for fighting, going and for that murder.
Moo absolutely saving the team fight. It looked pretty rough there for Nouns. No Lotus Orb on Dragonite in time to reflect the Doom. He didn't expect the jump. So Lotus comes, the arrow's going to miss as well. It just looks terrible, like the fight is going to be over so quickly, but he lands the Midnight Pulse and gets the black hole off before BKBs come from EG side, and that means they get 2 crucial kills. The Razor dies instantly, Monkey King gets low, just a huge amount of damage done by Moo.
Beautifully done and excellently executed. And that's exactly what we were talking about. They needed that so badly. Just have this clean engagement and they'll get themselves a tower off of it. Yeah. Look on Gunner's face there.
They needed that so badly. Gunner was also a little short of buyback, about 70 gold as well. So if they weren't able to get that black hole off and win the fight in a big way there, could have been a completely different game.
Now this does open up a little bit of an opportunity here for Evil Geniuses. Yes, you know, they did take, I don't want to even say they took a bad fight, it just, they got jumped on. But now they aren't going to have the black hole on the side of Nouns, so that's a little bit of breathing room. They could try to do their own smoke, try to go back in. They have some options.
That's true. There's like a 40-second window where Doom is up, a black hole is not. A crit is still fishing around looking for kills. They have this great ward in position. Maybe Costabile is the guy he goes on.
I mean, that appears to be the person here, as he's going to have to BKB. The Gunner starts to teleport in. Is he going to go now? They'll cancel the TP. They'll back off. Not with that Fiendscape being there, not with everybody joining. On the side of Evil Geniuses, they will just back off. And there is a Monkey King in the top lane, but doesn't look like they're going to be able to get the jump on RTZ.
Yeah, without Basher or Doom available, they just can't get him once he pops BKB. Maybe if Razor's there to do tons of damage from the start to the end of that, maybe they can kill him in time, but yeah. EG makes a little poke, nothing really happens, that's fine. Now overreact a little bit, maybe EG the same, burning Fiendscape, but everything seems fine. Nightfall trying to carry this game, treads, he's gonna get an AC next. Might as well.
Classic.
Radiant are scanning.
Smoke from Evil Geniuses as they'll join up with Nightfall. And they'll make their way through the jungle, possibly take back a little bit of the vision and wrap around. See if anybody's home.
Radiant's middle tower is under
These trees have
attack.
got to be so annoying though at this point, having to constantly go back and deal with them.
Yeah. And again, they have some solutions, but Razor's really not a great creep pusher compared to a lot of, compared to a lot of other cores.
Yeah.
Obviously, Monkey King is great, but he's also looking for kills, trying to spot heroes in trees.
So, Nouns smoking up on their own. Gonna go check over this triangle area, see if anybody's, you know, casually farming, perhaps put up some more vision. They're pretty well kitted out. Husky is the first body forward in case they break any of these smokes. There's a courier over here, so Gunner will clean that up, and that's the buckler and the plate mail.
Yep, he's about 600 gold from his AC, so that'll be delayed for sure. A lot of gold, really. 135 at this point is like half of a kill, so every courier snipe definitely adds up a bit. And the game's even in terms of net worth, so solid position to be in for Nouns, because as Enigma late game goes on, it gets more and more powerful. In fact, he's going towards a Lincoln Sphere, so he can interrupt getting doomed. So now if he BKBs and ultis, nothing's really going to stop him, right? Is that it? Death, Basher, but there's no Basher, so yeah.
No
Once he gets
Basher.
Lincolns, he gets the black hole full duration no matter what.
Be interested to see if we'll see an Ag Scepter picked up on top of everything else, because that is just massive amounts of damage if you can also get the Midnight Pulse down on top of that too.
Yeah, it can be amazing. I just feel like I haven't seen it forever on Enigma. There's just so many, like Refresher's so good these days.
Well,
You
how
just
often
have so
have
many
you seen
other
the-
items to buy first.
Well, yeah, you know, obviously get the Refresher first, but be curious to see if that's, you know, the amount of damage that Moon can output as this mid Enigma.
Not a terrible idea, really, because it does, the black hole damage does go through BKB, so if you slap an Ags on top of that, then
Could be devastating.
even if they're BKB'd, you're going to do a huge amount of damage.
Okay, there we go. There's the Basher. That's picked up over on Arteezy. So they do have
Yeah,
a
they needed
solution. The Ag's completed now for Dragon Knight. Gunner. It's gonna poke a little bit. They have the arrow, so should be an easy cleanup.
They just have so many items now on now. Like Gunner just finished the Ags all of a sudden. That fight win that they had was really big.
It's a lot of gold here for Arteezy as he cleans up the Eidolons, but they know where he is now, so you can see the way that Nouns is skirting, playing in this top jungle area.
The Basher is a big deal that they got it though, because that's again the solution against Prophet is Doom, but Basher will solve this. So he's gonna have to keep playing safe. But the fact that Costabile has been able to stay so high in net worth is really impressive.
Yeah. You know, I can still hear the panel. I will be very surprised if Nouns wins this.
Radiant's
But they're looking pretty strong right now. They're looking like it looks good and that they knew exactly what they were doing with this pick. Haters, where you at?
Postabile is just farming so fast. That's the thing that's impressing me a lot. The matchups aren't great, but he's not necessarily putting himself in too many dangerous positions. He's now itemized very effectively defensively. Hurricane Pike is so good against Monkey or Razor. He's got Lincolns to protect himself from Doom. Now they're going to just keep lanes pushed and prepare for Roche.
They do a scan over in the area, and it's still going to be a couple more seconds here, at the very least, before that Roche is going to be up. And they'll go in with the Moonlight Shadow. They found themselves Fly. Goodbye, Fly.
That's cool. Gunner's attacking the creep to splash the damage on the Enchantress so he doesn't get the slow. But they're again abusing the dark. He's doing the same item build. He's like, all right, Manta time. It's all about vision, in my opinion. That's what he wants to do. Sit on those cliffs, spot enemies, and even if Enchantress is tanky, as soon as she gets stunned, she's still going to struggle on surviving because the Spirit Vessel is finally paying off big.
This is nice here. Okay, Moo had picked up the invis. And like they were waiting patiently, and just in case Evil Geniuses decided to try to make a play for the pit before they started. But EG, focused up, they're gonna wait, they're gonna be patient. Look at this positioning coming out now from Nouns.
Yeah.
They have the vision placed over on the ward spot. Gunner can make this leap if he wants to. They have that BKB black hole. Gunner continues to try to get any information that he can. They'll send the Eidolons down, they'll see Nightfall. Just clear up the creep wave, continue to push out, and see if they can make Evil Geniuses play into them. And again, it is always Fly who is the one who tanks some of these spells.
That was Gunner's force staff.
Again, they're not too interested. They would like someone bigger. And Gunner will continue to be this bait.
He's big.
He is very big. Big dragon.
They tried to force the Enchantress forward. That way she would be caught closer to his allies, but unfortunately it didn't work out. They're going to go for a smoke, though.
They do have the
Let's
vision
show a
on
little
the...
bit by breathing the fire. Are they just going to go high ground? This is cool.
I guess.
I mean, they have vision of Roche, right? So they've got a tree in there for 30 seconds. So
They've got big trees.
Or do they get a pick off?
No, again, Gunner's placing himself in these positions so that way if they try to make the jump on him, it's pretty survivable. Moo has the opportunity to find these black holes.
His ulti's done, though.
That's gonna be the Fiend's Gate. Start trying to decide what they want to do. Do they want to go in? Do they want to leave? All right, they're bringing everybody in over on the side of Evil Geniuses.
Oh, this is really complicated. They're trying to figure out whether they reset or Nouns get to pick off or...
This is cool. This is very cool. They have to make the right decision here. To choose your own adventure book in Dota, and you only have one choice because there it is. They find the opening over onto Nightfall again. BKB gets used. Force staffs coming into play. Lotus over onto Moo. They'll protect. But they've managed to force some movement out of Evil Geniuses and have them play into their hands.
All right, they know where one more cliff ward is. They're going to run over really quick and kill that, and now they're going to finally take Roche. Nouns is playing so well here, just really making it hard for EG to initiate correctly. Both teams love playing around these cliff wards, and now that Nouns have defended it, if EG wants to run through this and try to fight, they know that they're running through vision the whole time, and that could set up Enigma to have a really easy black hole.
This is very
So they're
cool.
making their way over, but it's slow.
They're not going to be in time. CA just picked up the Constably. Clean up the little creep over on the side, and Gunner going to continue this push
Shard
to
for
clear
Enigma.
up. Free shard, best one.
Remember, right when it came out, everyone was buying it, and then slowly it kind of fell off, but still pretty useful here.
Oh yeah, we saw it in another one of the
guy.
games too earlier with the Enigma. The way that it was able to drag in.
They reset waves a little bit while Nature's Prophet pushes out top. The rest of their team, again, playing near these cliff wards. Aegis is up. EG also fishing a bit. Little scared that everybody on the Nouns team will run into them, so they're sitting together. They've got a Hex on Razor, though. That's a big item. 2 Hexes in this fight could mean somebody dies that's normally supposed to stay alive. And you can break Lincolns with it, too.
Husky trying to get some of this intelligence over here. Just find out where are they on the side of Evil Geniuses. Because they keep pushing out this bottom area. But they'll teleport back. We're gonna wait a little bit patiently. As Nouns making their way through the mid area, they grab themselves that illusion rune. More dragons.
Beautiful. I just have to buy Amanda.
Yeah.
Like, look at this. They're forced to scan to find out where Nouns are. They're doing such a good job pushing. That's why they did the summon thing on the bot lane. Enigma went there, Dragonite went there, or sorry, Nature's Prophet went there just to push out. Now they're using an illusion to push out these side lanes too. This whole time, EG hasn't actually seen where the Nouns heroes are for the last minute and a half here, and that's why it makes this game so hard right now.
Yeah,
They know that if somebody gets caught, man, that could be the start of the end of the game.
They do have a gem on the Mirana too, so. All right, well, they'll steal themselves their own version of Dragon Knight, so that is a nice thing that they can do for now, but these trees, they just keep coming.
Very
They're
good counter.
Pinned into this base.
No surprise, really. Very good for Prophet, because he can just farm the places super far away from his teammates. Normally, you don't feel comfortable being this far away from your teammates, but on Prophet, it's just absolutely perfect. So maximizing his net worth, he's going to go for a Silver Edge next. Give them some very nice damage against their opponents. Keeps getting his levels too.
This is such a good play from the side of Nouns because they do control all of this vision. Like we said earlier, they have the gem. They're able to rip down pretty much all of the observers. And then you have the Nature's Prophet, who you just never know where or when he's going to show up. Is he with the team? Is he not with the team? You just have all of these treants just constantly pushing into your base as well.
I mean, RTC's been sitting over here on the right side of the map for a long time with this ward. He's waiting to see if Prophet will TP in.
Yeah.
Because if he does, he can channel ulti on top of it, and as soon as he gets in, he gets that kill with the Basher.
And are continuing to poke on poor Fly. Every time Fly is the first one forward here. Do you get the Force Staff? Oh, looking at the opening, good stop here coming out from Pip with the Lincolns. It comes through. There's a BKB, but still will be able to get the Doom off. This is not looking great for Crit. He is going to die as now Stubble chasing after Fly, drops those trees, gonna start pushing pressure over onto the tower. RTZ seeing Gunner gets the stun. Will slow him down. They've got a Glimmer Cape trying to protect RTZ just a little bit more. The arrow, no. It does actually connect very, very narrowly because they did have that Force Staff. These trees going to town on the buildings. Boundless coming out from Arteezy, trying to force them away, but it's looking pretty difficult to get Nouns off of these buildings. They still have an Aegis over on the Nature's Prophet, too. They've got the illusions. Look at these big dragons, big trees, big everything. Fiend's Gate over on the back end. Not sure what they're thinking of over here. Perhaps hoping to get the jump.
Wow, they still got it.
And they did
And
indeed.
Crit had such a good monster stun, but there just wasn't, the follow-up was not ready. Catches 3 people in the War Stomp, but he reflected Doom against himself. Nouns was able to disengage, and Kostabili just did tons of damage into that fight.
And you still got to be very concerned because they have Black Hole available. They have 2 Black Holes. Because they haven't
And
been able to
Ninja
use them
Gear,
yet. That is perfect. Perfect item for him. So how does Evil Geniuses commit to a fight? Okay. We'll see one of the treants, but they just have so many ways of just dealing. Like you said, they have so many items over on the side of Nouns. Every time that they throw out an ability, they have a solution. Whether it's a Lotus, whether it's a Lincoln's, whether it's a Force Staff, they've itemized very well this game.
Their net worth advantage really helps too at this point. It's just been difficult for RTC to play the map and farm it as aggressively as he wanted because they haven't really gotten a convincing net worth lead for a while. And at any point, there's a lot of chain stun threat. If he gets on the map and he gets Dragonite stunned and arrowed, if there's the third hero there, he dies. So this has limited some of his farming. He's had to be a little bit more careful throughout the course of the game, especially when Nouns has map control like this.
They're doing so well that Crystal Maiden has enough money to get herself a BKB.
And she already had shards, so perfect place to be in for her.
Yeah. Please don't nerf Crystal Maiden. Please, Ice Frog.
Dire are
Smoke play
scanning.
coming out from Evil Geniuses, though. They use a scan.
Just what I
Barely catching over here. Do you manage to find Gunner? They're going to go for the Moonlight Shadow, the Hex. They've got the Lotus. They finish off, though, is the question, as they do have the Nullifier. So it's not looking great here for Gunner. He's going to get plenty of damage placed upon him. They need a little bit more. They've got the dust. Can they close the gap, though? He's actually still alive. He's still kicking. They go. They turn back around. The black hole's going to get used on top of everything else. It's looking beautiful. They take out Crit. They took down Nightfall. The chase is on after Arteezy. They'll throw the trees. They've got the damage. They'll get a kill. And they buy back on multiple heroes. Abed. Oh, Abed. He's left all alone. He goes for the refresher. It doesn't even matter.
Oh, my God.
Disaster for
Gunner's
Evil
alive.
Geniuses. Fly running for his life. Here they are, though. They have the detection. They've got the damage. They've got the lockdown. Nouns is just dissecting Evil Geniuses right now. Nightfall can only do
Gunner
so
was
much.
able to live. I can't believe he stayed alive against Abed when he chased after him, but he did it. Just barely survived.
Okay, they're going to try to take this again. BKB coming out from Kostavli, and there it is. There's the other black hole. They'll lock down Arteezy. They call GG. Nouns has managed to do it. They've
Holy
taken
crap.
down Evil Geniuses and a 2-1 victory.